What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. Today's going to be a quick tutorial, a disassembly video of the Razer Viper here in case something breaks on this, God forbid, and you need to do some repairs. Or you want to take it apart for a good reason to customize it, like these two Razer mice here. And yeah, I'm going to walk you guys through it step by step. It's pretty simple. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, first thing you're going to do is move your keyboard for your budget build old bin out of the way. Now, there's two skates on the bottom here you will need to remove. They're hiding two screws and one here at the bottom. I do have a heat gun. If you don't have one of those, you can use a hairdryer, or you don't need them, period, but it does help to loosen up the adhesive a little bit. You're just going to get a fingernail up underneath the skates and peel them off, like so. And that's why it's a good idea to use a heat gun. It's actually just removing the outer layer. I'm not getting the adhesive with it, so I'm going to hit it with the heat gun and then pry it up a little bit with a knife just to kind of get underneath there to that adhesive layer, and then we're going to peel it off. Again, if you don't have a heat gun, I will link one in the description below. They're about 10 bucks on Amazon, but if you don't want to buy one because you're trying to do this on the cheap, not a big deal whatsoever. Just steal a hairdryer from your mom or girlfriend or sister or whatever. They don't need to know what you're doing with it, and put it on its highest setting. Heat gun, I would say low setting, but a hairdryer, I would say it's high setting. Now, I'm keeping it moving. You don't want to keep it in one place for too long, or else it could burn through the plastic or melt it, and you don't want that. There we go. So if you do this with a little finesse, unlike I did, usually with the heat gun and a well-placed fingernail or the blade, you can actually get not only the outer skate, the slick part off, but also the riser / adhesive layer like that. Fantastic. See if we can get the top one. Yeah, that heat gun does wonders because it like really sticks the two layers together. And I've noticed from building a lot of these custom mice and whatnot, heat gun's a good thing to have. Now you have 3 small Phillips head screws in there. You're gonna remove those. All right, this little toolkit is also linked in the description below. It's about 10 bucks on Amazon, and it has everything you need to disassemble controllers. If we're gonna be popping apart Xbox controllers, you need the T6 and T8 screwdriver for that. Not to mention a couple of shell poppers to separate body clips and things like that. This is too small. That's what she said, unfortunately. Let's see if this gets the job done for her. All right, that's the tip that she wanted. Wow, I got some distance on that thing. I flung that screw far. So anyway, you don't want to lose these. I have a pack of small Phillips head screws and T6s because I do have a small business building custom controllers, pictures on screen here. But if you don't, the average person does not have a lot of these tiny screws laying around. You do not want to lose them. So just make sure you set them in a little cup or jar. Moving right along. We're going to pop the top and bottom shell apart. Just give it a little squeeze and a tug. And you got some body clips in there. If you can't do it with your fingernails because it is a little bit brittle the first time, you can use the little shell popper tool in here, but it looks like it's coming apart pretty easily. Now, don't yank it too hard because there is a ribbon cable in there. Or not a ribbon cable, but just a plug in here that you need to remove. And you don't want to pull that from the wires. And there are 2 little prongs in there that you need to press in with a screwdriver in order to pull this out. They kind of lock it in place, you know. So this is your top shell here. You have a little cone in there that's for your RGB, considering that light up Razer logo is literally just lit up by that little LED right there. And it funnels its light through that cone in there. Now this module in here is for the side buttons, the 2 buttons on each side. So if you want to paint those separately, you can either mask off this section here and just cut out the buttons. That's what I did on the Viper Ultimate over there. But if you want to take them out, you can do that as well. It's 2 Phillips head screws right there. And then you'll be able to take out this chip or printed circuit board, and these 2 buttons will also be able to pop out. So the scroll wheel in here is different than the Viper Ultimate and Viper Mini, which we already have disassembled and customized on this channel. It has this little support bar in the back. You basically just pull up on it like that, and it'll lift up. You do have another wire right here. This just pulls right out of the board like that. And then you can pop the front out like that. It just has these 2 little prongs on each side, which go in those 2 holes right there. So if you need to replace your scroll wheel, or again, if you're customizing it, take this bad boy out. Then you're going to remove it out of its little tray here. Just pops out. You just push up with your thumb and it'll pop out of there. And then you can remove this motor from the side like that. And you now have your scroll wheel. And if you want to paint the actual scroll wheel, but then leave this rubberized part black, it adds like a nice little accent to it to where the edges are going to kind of peek through. And then you're still going to have that center rubberized section. Or if you want to completely replace this, you can take men's rubberized silicone wedding bands, and those actually slide right on there, and you can get like a pack of like 10 or 15 colors for like $6 on Amazon. Linked in the description below as well. So if you're having a problem with your sensor and you need to do something with that, you have 4 Phillips head screws here, and that will remove this printed circuit board up, and then you can clean off your sensor or do whatever you need to do there. These are the 2 optical switches, which are for your left and right click. And this button right here is for when you press down on the mouse wheel itself. So nothing too crazy, pretty straightforward disassembly. If this video was beneficial for you guys, it helped you out, go ahead and smash that like button. It helps it to get seen by more people. And for all things gaming, make sure you subscribe and tallywhack that notification bell so you're aware when new videos come online. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.